Salesforce Development Lesson 6. Today we're going to be creating the flight custom object. So if we look over to our requirements here, we're going to be creating the flight, and we're also going to be creating the detail object, because the flight will be the master object, and we're going to also be creating the flight seats detail object. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and get started. Before I do that, I'm going to move this off screen so I have it as a reference. Again, looking at the Salesforce development steps, we're still in the first step where we're creating our custom objects and fields. I've just split the act of creating the objects and fields in separate videos, just to make the videos shorter. If not, it'd be really long videos. So let's go ahead, and we're back to the object manager in our Salesforce org. So you have to go to, make sure you go, if you not in setup, make sure you go to setup first and then click on object manager. So again, we're going to go ahead and create our custom object, and this is going to be the flight object, and then the plural is flights. And this is just going to hold the flight information. All right, flight name, maybe we'll do, for flight, we'll do FL. And then the data type, we're going to auto number this. Again, we'll do FL. Oh, sorry. So we'll do flight name for now. Then FL. And the starting number is 1. Now if we scroll down at the bottom, we'll see, make sure we allow this in the reports, because we want that as part of our reports. We'll also do allow in the search, and we'll just go ahead and save that. All right, so we have a bunch of fields that we need to add to the flight. So let's get started. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go to field and relationships. Go start adding a new field. First thing we want to do is we want to make sure that this is associated to a plane, because we want to indicate what plane this flight's going to be on. So for that, we're going to use a lookup relationship to the plane object. And we're going to look up plane down here. Click next. And the field name, so the field label is going to be plane. We'll call it plane. The plane this flight. The plane used for this flight. All right. And we'll do the same thing. We'll just copy paste this. Flights. The child relationship off the plane is going to be the flights. Is it required? Yes. There should be a required field. Next. 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 And this is good. And then we'll do a save and new. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to have, I want to do a flight number, but I'm going to make this a text field just because I don't want commas there. So this will be a, I'll say flight number. The length, we'll say 100 for now. Probably don't need it that large. Actually, probably 30 is enough, or even 20. Say 20. Flight numbers aren't that long. So the flight number, and the thing is, flight numbers are probably not going to be unique as reused, so that's why I'm not making these, but I should make these. They shouldn't be unique, but they should be required. So we'll do that. Again, we'll keep clicking on next, save and new. And now what we need to do, the other thing we need to do is we need another lookup relationship here. And this one is going to be a lookup relationship to the airport. And this is going to be the departing airport. Yeah, we'll call it that, departing airport. The airport this flight departs from. And then the child relationship name, I should change this to departing flights, or the flights, where it's going to, yeah, where it's departing from the airport. All right. So is this required? Yes, because you need to know every flight's going to have a departing and an arriving airport. So that's important. I think that's fine. So we'll go ahead and click through here. Next, save and new. And then we need an arrival airport. So again, we're going to have another lookup field to airport. It's right there. And then we're going to say arriving airport. Yeah. Description's not there. And then arriving flights. I'll leave that there. So the relationship name, again, is required. Next, and save and new. All right, so we have departing airport, arriving airport. Now we need the departing date and time. So for date, we're going to keep the date and the time separate in its own field. So there'll be a date field, and then there's going to be a time field. And there's just going to be the same thing. So we got to have departing time. Oh, sorry, that was date. Departing date. Date of departure. Right? So we're going to have the same thing here. Next, and then save and new. So we have departing date, and we'll also do, it's going to be time, so I have to click on time here. And it's going to be departing time of departure. There's going to be required to there. Next, save and new. And then we're going to do the same thing for arrival. So this is going to be date. Arrival date. Date of arrival. Required. Then we're just going to go through next, save and new. Then finally, we're going to do the time here. Next. And then this is going to be arrival time. Time of arrival. Okay, we're going to paste that. And then we're going to put always require a field. Yes, this is required. Next, next, and save. That's the last field. And I know that was a lot, but we were able to add all those fields. And the next object we're going to need to create are the flight seats. And again, this is going to be flight seat. The plural is flight seats. And the seats on the flight. And then here we're just going to have FL seat. Oh, sorry. Flight seat. Auto number is going to be FL seat dash 0000. Starting with number 1. Again, we're going to allow this in reports and also allow in the search, so you can search by the flight seat. And we're going to do a save here. So this will take us to the flight seat. Now the nice thing with the flight seat is there aren't too many fields that we need to add. But one field we do need to add, because it's a master detail. You need to click master detail, and we have to add the flight that the seat belongs to. So go ahead and click on flight, next. And plural is flights. Flight this seat belongs to. There we go. Flight seat, read write, all this is fine. So we'll go next, next, next. We have a couple more flights here, so we're going to say save and new. One thing we're going to have is the seat price. The seat price is going to be interesting. So so let's go ahead and do this. We have the flight. Before we do that, let's do the plane seat first. So the plane seat. Excellent. All right. So let's go ahead and look at our plane seat. So what we need to do is this has got to be a lookup. To the plane seat. Because we need to connect it to the seat on the plane that's in the flight. So this is the plane seat for the, not plan, say the flight plane seat. That's what it is. It's the seat on the flight plane. So we'll just copy that to the help text. This is required, yes. Because in order to create, we need to have, needs to be associated to a seat on the plane. So it's required. We're going to go ahead and click next. And next. All right, so now that we have the flight seats, this is related to the parent, so this is going to be the, flight seats is fine. All right, so we'll save a new. The next thing is the seat price. Now the seat price is going to be an interesting one because we want to actually pull the seat price from the plane seat, the one that was defined on the plane seat. We want to use that same one. So this is actually going to be a formula field. So we're going to go ahead and click Formula, and it's going to be currency, and the name of the field is going to be seat price. We'll do that, and this is the currency. We'll hit next. Okay, so now this is where things get a little interesting. We want to pull a field, but it's going to kind of be the field from a related record. So what we need to do is we need to go through, and from flight seat we need to go to the flight, and then we need to go find the plane for that flight, which is down here. Yeah, so we have the flight seat, we have the flight, and then we have a plane. Oh no, wait a minute. Well, actually, this is simpler than that, because what we need to do is we actually got to go to the flight seat, and then we already have the plane seat in here. So once we have the plane seat, we just have to grab the seat price of that plane, and that's it. And then that should give us the same seat price. And click check syntax. It says no syntax errors, so I think we're good. And then we'll treat blank fields as zeros is fine. Click next. Next. And save. Okay, I know it's been a little bit of time setting this up. There's still actually one more field I need to add, and that's the reservation field. But I can't add that now because I haven't created the reservation object. That comes a little later. So I'm going to have to come back here. But the nice thing about this is, again, I'm going to have to go to Builder. I have to go to the Schema Builder. If you remember from yesterday, we had our plane seat. So now we have to go find our flights. So let's say flight. Now here we go. So now we can check these two boxes off. And now you can see the relationship between the plane. Yep. There you go. Let's see. Oh, this is actually probably going to show us a better picture of this here, because the flights are kind of related, so they're actually a little bit higher up in the hierarchy here. And then we have the plane and the plane seat here. So you can see the ER diagram. The airport is a one-to-many relationship with flights between the arriving airport and departing airport. We have a one-to-many relationship to the flight seat, because this is just the detail flight master detail relationship. Same thing with plane and plane seat. It's a master detail relationship here. And then with the plane and the flight, it's a master detail relationship here. Okay, one more thing I did want to show you that I forgot to show you in the last video is if you're using Visual Studio Code and you have a project where you're pulling in all your data. Now, I kind of did this last time. I was able to pull in all my metadata for the objects I've created so far, like airport, plane, and plane seat. So the Salesforce command for pulling in your objects is SF project retrieve. You want to do a preview usually, because what the preview will do is say, okay, these are the custom metadata files that it's going to pull down, right? So it's going to do all the custom object, which is flight seat. Here's the custom fields, and then here's the layouts that it's going to pull in. I kind of set this to ignore the profile because I don't want to pull the profile for the permissions. I'd rather do those through permission sets. So profiles I'm not going to pull in. And if you look over here at the force ignore, this is how I tell it not to pull the profile. I just put profiles in here, and it automatically ignores the profile, so I won't pull it in when I retrieve. Okay, so now I switch my preview to start. It'll go ahead and retrieve those files, and if you see on the left hand, it added the flight and flight seat objects and all the fields that I created too. So that should pretty much do that for today. Thanks again for joining us today. Hope this was helpful. Again, if you can, please like and subscribe to the channel so others will hear about it. And thanks again. Bye.